Imagine holding enough wealth to purchase an entire empire, only to discover that every ounce of it is completely useless when it comes to saving your own life. This is exactly what happened to the last true Inca emperor, Atahualpa. In exchange for his freedom, he filled a stone room 22 feet long and 17 feet wide to the ceiling with pure gold. Yet, even after this massive payment was made, the vast majority of the empire's wealth, an estimated 750 tons of gold, never reached his captors. It was spirited away deep into the jungle, vanishing from history completely. What began as a desperate wartime maneuver to protect a civilization's holy relics morphed into a lethal pursuit, triggering a 500-year search that continues to claim lives today. To understand how so much wealth could disappear, you have to look at the empire that forged it. The Inca called their realm Tawantinsuyu, or the Four Regions. It was a sprawling territory draped across these brutal, freezing peaks and deep river valleys of the Andes. Spanning over 30,000 kilometers, their road system connected the highest mountains to the coast. They achieved this engineering supremacy, including meticulously interlocking mortarless stone walls that still stand today, without ever using the wheel, iron tools, or draft animals. But their most defining achievement was their relationship with precious metals. To the Inca, gold had absolutely zero economic value. It was never traded or used as currency. Instead, it was worshipped exclusively as something divine, the literal sweat of the sun god, Inti. This religious devotion reached its absolute peak at the Coricancha, the fabled temple of the sun located in their capital city of Cusco. Inside this imposing complex, the walls were lined with 700 massive sheets of pure gold. Courtyards dazzled under the Andean sun, filled entirely with life-sized golden llamas, intricately crafted insects, and entire gardens forged from silver and gold. A society of 15 million people operated at its peak, without a single coin exchanging hands. For the Inca, immense wealth was a measure of spiritual harmony with the cosmos, not a tool for individual power or commercial trade. That harmony shattered abruptly in 1532 with the arrival of Francisco Pizarro and his band of Spanish conquistadors. Two completely incompatible worldviews were suddenly forced together. Where the Inca saw divine artistry and the tears of their gods, the Spanish looked at the exact same objects and saw only raw financial commodity and global power. The tension snapped at Cajamarca. In a swift, bloody ambush, the Spanish forces decimated the Inca guard and captured their living god emperor, Atahualpa. Observing his captors' feverish obsession with his people's sacred artifacts, Atahualpa correctly diagnosed the Spanish condition. He noted they suffered from a disease of the heart, an affliction that only gold could cure. He believed this greed operated like a rational transaction that could be satisfied. That fatal miscalculation, assuming the Europeans would leave once their sickness was treated, sealed the doom of his empire. To purchase his life, Atahualpa ordered his subjects to gather the ransom. Across the empire, porters frantically pried the holy gold sheets directly off the walls of the Coricancha and stripped their temples bare. Centuries of ancestral masterworks, crafted as eternal offerings to the sun, were hastily piled into the cramped room in Cajamarca, reduced to crude bargaining chips for a single human life. The Inca upheld their end of the bargain, successfully filling the room to the ceiling. But the Spanish commanders took the gold and chose to strangle and burn Atahualpa anyway. This brutal betrayal made one thing entirely clear to the surviving Inca leadership. The European appetite for gold was not a temporary hunger that could be ransomed. It was a disease of endless consumption. When news of the emperor's murder reached General Ruminahi, he immediately halted the remaining supply convoys. On his orders, an estimated 750 tons of gold traveling toward Cajamarca were diverted directly into the wilderness. The Inca forces executed an agonizing retreat into the treacherous Llanganatis mountains and deadly cloud forests. They weaponized the unforgiving landscape, using the jagged peaks and dense canopy to hide the holy relics from their pursuers. They retreated to remote, sky-high strongholds like Vilcabamba, an isolated refuge that acted as the empire's final hidden Vatican in the clouds. Meanwhile, the gold the Spanish did manage to capture met a tragic fate. A millennium of divine, irreplaceable craftsmanship was systematically melted down, pooling into uniform, generic bullion bars to fund European wars. Destroying these artifacts was a deliberate, systematic erasure of an entire civilization's cultural memory. As for the 750 tons that vanished, it morphed into a psychological trap for the conquerors. It triggered a 500-year fever that has easily outlasted the Spanish Empire itself. This obsession birthed generations of myths, driving explorers to hunt for the fabled golden city of Paititi, or drain sacred circular lakes like this one in the frantic search for El Dorado. The toll has been deadly. Over the centuries, a long, grim list of adventurers, botanists, and mountaineers have vanished into the misty Andes, claimed by the elements while chasing the Llanganatis treasure. The true legacy of the lost Inca gold has nothing to do with its monetary value. It remains an enduring monument to a civilization that chose to bury its soul deep in the earth, rather than let it be corrupted by human greed. If you enjoyed this journey into the past, subscribe and follow Empire Snapshots for more stories exploring the rise and fall of absolute power.